keep hoping that Dan Graziano is going to show up. Eventually, he will be at some point. Might be him. Hang on.
Man, I know it's
there he is.
I know it's a new show, but how long you keep a guy waiting out there through a whole commercial break?
We don't have any producers. I apologize. All right, time for Not Fake News with NFL insider Dan Graziano. Have a seat, brother.
All right.
Good to see you.
Good
All right.
to be with you.
Now, last night you broke some news, you and Jordan Renan.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier about Odell Beckham, but what happens to this Giants offense if they miss any time?
I think it probably shrinks. You know, I think, you know, Odell Beckham takes away the explosive big play opportunity. I'm not sure how much you can count on Brandon Marshall for that anymore. So if he misses time, a game or two, whatever it ends up being, you know, I would say maybe that's a time to lean a little bit on a Sterling Shepard, a Shane Vereen in the passing game, right? Don't forget about him. He's back after missing the end of last season with an injury. Evan Ingram, they can put some plays in.
Are they expecting bigger things for Evan Ingram?
They are. I mean, he's still got to develop as a blocker so they can use him as a tight end. But right now, they could use him as a receiver. They feel good about his ability to go out and catch the ball, run routes. So if Beckham were to have to miss games, then I think you could see, you know, guys like that get a little bit more of the share of the targets.
You went down to Tampa. You were in Bucs camp earlier this year. Talk to me about that running game. A lot of people wondering what's going to go on with Martin. He's going to be suspended. Make sense of that for me.
Yeah, he's missing the first 3 games of the season due to a drug suspension. So I was in Jason Light's office, the GM. I said, where are you guys with Doug Martin? He said, it's good right now. Yeah, everything's been good. So we'll see how it goes through the suspension. He's going to have to be away from the team during the suspension. So they're not sure exactly how that's going to go. They have Jaquiz Rodgers. They have Peyton Barber. They have Charles Sims they like in the passing game. They got a rookie, Jeremy McNichols, who's Snoop Dogg's guy, right?
Yep.
From Hard Knocks. We've seen that. So there's an opportunity for someone to kind of take the job and for that job not to be there when Doug Martin's suspension ends. They've told Martin as much. I talked to him about it. He said he knows, but he believes everything, all his problems from last year are behind him, and he thinks he's shown them enough to get the job back. The only reason he wouldn't is if one of those guys really took it and ran with it during that 3-game absence.
And I actually think there is a slight chance with Jaquiz Rodgers, who performed well last year, obviously has a connection with Dirk Cutter. Cutter loves him from their days together in Atlanta, and last year performed well. But the two of those guys, in terms of where they're going in terms of ADP, I love pairing Martin and Rodgers together, and you get the starting running back in what I think will be a good offense. By the way, Hard Knocks, nice cameo by you.
How about that?
Yeah.
I didn't know where they had those cameras.
Right,
you know, they're doing an interview, and all of a sudden you show up on TV.
From Hard Knocks, from HBO to
to
ESPN2, your career on the right track, clearly. All right, hey, you went to Panthers camp as well, and there's all this talk about Cam Newton and trying to keep him healthy, wanting him to run less, but he's Cam Newton, and we've heard the lion has to roar quote. What's your take after seeing the Panthers run through some plays?
I talked to their center, Ryan Khalil, and he said, you know, Cam really does pride himself on his ability as a pocket passer, so that's something he does want to show. He said, at the same time, you know, we're not going to get away from plays that help us win games. You know, like if Cam needs to run, Cam's going to run. He's great at it. So I think it's a matter of the way they view it is the offense kind of evolves as, you know, he gets older and they bring in a Christian McCaffrey, and maybe there are some options for Cam before the run that there didn't used to be. But I don't think they're going to cut out the designed runs. I think they're still going to use him at the goal line. And I think, you know, the expectation is that maybe he won't have to run as much when the play breaks down around him because he might have some quicker, earlier options in the passing game than he used to. So I don't know that the plan is to run him less. I think the plan is to give him more options before he then defaults to the run and hope that he takes them.
Yeah, maybe run smarter as opposed to less. And the fact that you said still going to use him at the goal line, I think is very important. I still have him as a QB1, lower than, you know, more of a lower end QB1 than a higher end QB1, but still a starter. And finally, you and I have known each other a long time. We're friends. You know, I bleed the burgundy and gold. I am a Redskins fan. You went down there. Give me some good news here.
I think they can score points, honestly. I know there's question about the losses of Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson, and rightfully so. But I think they believe they can give Jamison Crowder more to do in the offense. I think that's part of their plan. They're high on Terrell Pryor. Obviously, this is a guy still kind of learning the position, but played extremely well while learning the position in Cleveland last year. So much of it depends on Jordan Reed, though. I mean, can they keep him healthy? He just got off PUP like 2 days ago.
Right.
So, I mean, if they can keep him healthy, the offense runs through him. But I think they believe they can do more with Crowder. They believe Pryor can be a number one. They're 100% confident that Kirk Cousins can handle playing on a one-year contract because they've seen it before.
And quickly, their feelings on Josh Dotson.
They would like to see it.
Right.
But he's another guy who's had an injury already this camp. So I think I talked to him. He said he thinks his role is at the goal line if he's healthy, because they had real trouble in the red zone last year, and he thinks he can help there.
There's no question. 6'4" Terrell
patterns.
Pryor, 6'2" Josh Dotson. They actually got some size for Kirk Cousins. I agree with you. They are going to score points. We'll see if they can stop anyone.